This is the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. That's what I said. Black lives don't matter. What kind of up podcast is this? Black lives don't matter? Really? Man, who is this dude? Black guy? Wait, so a black man got a podcast called Black Lives Don't Matter. It's like President Obama waving the rebel flag. I done seen it all now. Maybe this is what it takes. Time to shine the light on all the times black life didn't matter. Talk your truth, brother. Listen up. Let's get down with this. Because if black lives really mattered, we wouldn't need a movement. Now would we?
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. I'm your host, Darren Harris. Check it out. I'm gonna make this short, quick, and to the point. We had one job, y'all, and that was to stand together. If we would have stood together, we could have changed history, and we could have propelled ourselves further than we had ever been. But instead, we have, some of us have effectively voted us back to Jim Crow 2.0. Real talk. And I know you don't think you did. I know you think you voted for this man because he's gonna fix the economy and make eggs affordable. And I know you voted for this man because you think he's gonna make you rich in your business or give you tax breaks. I know you voted for this man for all kinds of reasons. But the one thing you didn't vote for him for was for the equality of all citizens. That's the one thing you didn't vote for. You voted to keep people divided. That's what you did. You helped seal our fate here. And that's it. You helped keep us in a permanent status of relegation. We are permanently relegated into second, third, fifth, 27th class citizens around this motherfucker now. Thanks, y'all, because you want to get rich. Because you think that, and I'm gonna say this, and I've done my research, and I know how much eggs cost, and I know how much inflation is. I know I read. Fuck the economy. I said it. Fuck the economy. Fuck it. Especially when it comes to human decency, common human decency. And it seems like. It's very sad because it seems like we don't have it anymore. There's no human decency, no compassion for no one else. No, we shall overcome, no, none of that shit. It's step on each other's necks by any means necessary now. We help put somebody as divisive as they come back in the White House after, listen, you know why he didn't win a second term? You know why this motherfucker didn't win a second term? Because he sucked as a fucking president. All right, let's just call it what the fuck it is. Because he sucked. Barack Obama got 2 terms. Even George W. got 2 terms. This motherfucker had 1 term and was voted the fuck out. I mean, this motherfucker had turncoats in his own ranks. People who just he didn't want to work for his ass anymore. Okay, and we glorify that. We say, oh yeah, he cuts against the grain. Yeah, he speaks his mind. No, he's a fucking child. He's a child with money who gets his way, who has a fucking fetish for Elon Musk because he sees himself in Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a younger Donald Trump. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this to all the black men out there that voted for Donald Trump. And I mean this from both my balls and my whole chest. You motherfuckers could kiss my ass. Straight like this. You motherfuckers could kiss my ass. I don't care if we family. I don't give a fuck. Well, let me not say that. Let me not say that. Let me say this instead. I really hope, for your sake and for mine, in the sake of everybody else in the country, that this man is the president that he says he's going to be for everyone. For every person I'm going to save America. I'm going to put money on you. But you know what? He's not going to do it. Why? Because he don't give a fuck about me. Like you ignorant motherfuckers thinks he cares about you. You motherfuckers are ignorant. It's baffling to me how people think a person listen, I really got to slow myself down because I'm trying not to be disrespectful. Yeah, I really am. I really am trying to give my brothers the benefit of the doubt. But it really is hard. It really is hard when you're telling people, when brothers like Dr. Umar are telling you not to vote. You don't have to vote. You don't have if you don't feel confident, don't vote for Kamala Harris. Oh yeah, motherfucker. Then what you basically saying? Give your vote to Donald Trump. So you help Donald Trump, Dr. Umar, helped him get elected by encouraging black men to not vote for Kamala Harris for whatever reason he says, instead of, people call it identity politics. If you're voting for somebody based on, the color of their skin. Like a lot of black people voted for Barack Obama because he was black, not because of his politics, because he was black. And I'm gonna tell you what, I was willing to sit up here and do it again for Kamala. And I'll tell you why, because I'm willing to give her the opportunity. I'm willing to give her the opportunity, even though a lot of the things to me, I don't really align with what she says. More of the shit that this motherfucker that comes out of this dude's mouth is just preposterous. So I can never get on board with that shit. So yeah, I'm willing to give her the opportunity. Because like I keep saying, I could deal with 4 years of a bad president, but it's going to be extremely hard for me to deal with a lifetime of a dictator. So I'm not going to really want to do that. You know what I mean? So, but I was willing to give her, the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, listen, we gave Donald Trump a fucking chance and he didn't have no fucking experience and he fucked it up. But everybody wants to say that, under Trump, the economy was better. And the reason why the economy was better under Trump is because he inherited the economy of Barack Obama. So under Trump, really, honestly and truly, based on what Joe Biden inherited, Trump fucked it up. And it's already, listen, his economic plan for rich Americans is just fine. But for the rest of us, like the middle class, and even, other ones of us that are, not necessarily even making it to middle class, he don't give a fuck about you at all. You know what I'm saying? And all these motherfuckers riding around in they little shit. Yeah, I voted for Trump, nigga. Yeah, Trump. Niggas for Trump. Okay, nigga. Niggas for Trump. Uh-huh. All right. You just better hope that this motherfucker delivers the shit to you that he says he's going to deliver to you. But he's got what he wants now. So he has no reason to even deliver to you what he promised you. And he's notorious for that. There's records of him not paying people that have done actual work for him. So why the fuck would he do some shit that he said? And he's gonna say exactly what he always says, which is, I had no idea about it. I didn't know about it. Oh, I didn't know. And there's always a list of shit that a president says that they're going to do when they come in. When they leave, there's always a list of shit that doesn't get done. Now watch how many of the things that we need don't get done. But it's okay, because he's never going to leave office. After him, it's probably going to be his son, or either J.D. Vance or somebody, one of his constituents. It's just going to continue, because now every facet of our government is conservative. And it was set up that way. It was a fucking plan from the beginning, and we're stupid looking at fucking shiny shit like we always do. Look at my fucking roly nigga. Looking at shiny shit while these motherfuckers is making legislation to fucking seal our fucking fate here. And you're helping. Congratulations. And like I said, you just better hope, and I really do. And I'm gonna say this. I really do. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong, man. I honestly and truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong about this. If I ever want to be wrong in my life about anything in the world, it's this. I want to be wrong about this. But something in my heart tells me that I'm not. And based on that, if these people voted, especially my people, and not for nothing, Latin men, you're not out of this either. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all voted too. Y'all voted to put the dude back there too. The two of us together. You know what I'm saying? Black men and Latin men voted to really kind of gave him that oomph that he needed to push that rock over the hill. We did that for him. And not for nothing, Hispanic men, I don't get it, because they trying to seal the fucking border to keep motherfuckers out. I don't get it. I don't understand, but I do. Hold on, man, bro. Let me finish. Because I'm on a thought. The reason why I don't get it, I don't understand, is because your ancestors have fought so hard to try and come here to build a life. They fought to come here. They're fighting currently. They're dying to come here. Now, they say the worst of you come here, but they don't make any mention about the worst of us that are already here. What are we gonna do about them? Okay? And it's not because it's because you are brown people. Because nobody's saying anything about the borders of Canada. Nobody ever has. There could be just as many illegal immigrants crossing the border in Canada as there is up here. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you that there are some at least crossing that way also. Because I know from living in New York, I've known plenty of Canadian people with no fucking papers looking for papers in New York because they're trying to be an actress or an actor. I've known plenty of people like that have come here with no fucking papers, nothing, fucking nothing. You know, got motherfuckers, no papers, marrying motherfuckers, all kind of shit for nothing. That shit always is happening. You know what I'm saying? But it can't happen with you. And the reason why they don't want it to happen with you is they said it, because you're poisoning the blood of the country. Well, what is the blood of this country? If the blood of this country is any kind of blood, it's the blood of the natives. And if it's any other kind of blood, it's the blood of the fucking black people who died here. It's our blood. Okay? It's our blood that soaks not even Native American blood, black people's blood has been shed more in this country than any other body in history. Our blood here soaks the ground of Georgia. Soaks the ground of Georgia. But we can't come out of it there. We can't come out of it there for several reasons, because there's things like SB 202. SB 202 is a bill in Georgia that was passed by Governor Brian Kemp to further disenfranchise and make it even harder for marginalized communities and black communities, let's just fucking say it, to vote. They make it, there's just outrageous things that I really don't want to get into. If you want, you can look it up, and it's right there on the fucking, you can just Google, what is Georgia SB 202? You can look it up yourself. It's fucking horrible. But basically, in a nutshell, it makes it harder for black people to vote. You know what I'm saying? And it was written and passed by Governor Kemp, so he didn't have to worry about trying to find 11,000 votes this time, and he got it out of the way early. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Never mind that fucking Atlanta is massive. And so is Savannah is pretty big too. And they got a pretty large population of black folks. There's black folks out in the fucking rural Georgia. But all these other counties, sparsely populated rural counties, walk away with it, even though the majority of Atlantans are black. Atlanta is a chocolate city. There's no reason other than voter suppression, voter intimidation, that Georgia should be a red state. Simple as that. There's no reason for that. There's no reason. And the reason why is the governor. The governor. He's a motherfucker. And I said it about his ass too. He is a motherfucker. You know, he is the classic example of a motherfucker that really needs to be voted off the island, and should have been voted off the island. But it's never going to happen, because the same thing's going to happen. He's just going to install the same ideology after he's gone. But there's a way that we could stop that, but it was the same way that we could have stopped this. But what did I say in the beginning? We had one job. But all we did was we stood in our way. We stood in our own way. We stepped on our own fucking feet. We had the motherfucking basket wide open. Tried to leap from the free throw line and missed. Playing for the other team. Now, when I say team, I don't mean black folks and white folks. That's not what I mean. And that's what this is about. Is more about ideologies. This is about ideologies. The ideology that we are inferior people still persists today. And it still persists within us. And because of that, some of us, we seek the validation of those around us. And it ain't necessary. It is not necessary, because we are the same, and we can validate ourselves just like everybody else can. But the thing about it is we have to take our validation seriously. When I validate myself, I have to take that seriously. I have to take that more seriously than, when this guy over here validates me. When I validate myself, I have to take that seriously. When I validate another brother, that looks like me, when I validate, he has to take that seriously, and I have to take me validating him seriously in order for us to bring ourselves up out of this. Because right now, all we're in is in this every man for himself mode. You know what I'm saying? I got mine, get yours mode. I ain't nobody help me mode. You know what I'm saying? Nobody did it for me. Nobody came up, get you. You know what I'm saying? We are constantly being disrespected by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We are constantly putting our own selves down. I'm guilty of it too. I've called what's his name? Byron Donaldson and Tim Scott. I've called both of them and Clarence Thomas Uncle Toms. You know what I'm saying? But the motherfuckers have been Uncle Toms. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they black men. You know what I'm saying? They're black men that have decided that the black cause is not that important to them. And as a black man here in America, for me, the black man's cause is always going to be priority number one. Over my country. I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Because this country really never gave a fuck about people like me or people like Tim Scott or Byron Donaldson or Clarence Thomas. Never gave a fuck about them, not one iota. Never. Still don't give a fuck about them. But still, they are being used as instruments to damn our people to an existence of poverty and crime and self-destruction and mental health issues, and they care not to help us figure out a way for us to get out of it. I mean, I think about this shit all the time. How do we get the fuck out of it? It's very simple, man. Stand up and start doing shit your own self. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a hospital on this side of town because they won't put up one. Okay, well, how about some black wealthy people get together and let's have our own fucking hospital? Is that so fucking hard? Yeah. Why? Because we see the O's in our bank account and we don't want to part with that shit. Why? Because it's status. It shows us that we have something, and it does something else. It shows everybody else that we have shit too. But meanwhile, we ain't helping nobody. We haven't helped any one of us. These people over here struggling, and all they need is a little bit of a hand because the legislation that you fucking voted for put them in this fucking situation in the first place. How do they get out of it? They can't. It's impossible because it's designed to be. And you're aiding to that. And it's a shame. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, I got more, but I just want to, I don't really want to. Yeah, let me go ahead and wrap this up, folks. So, look. In conclusion is this. We've made history. We have until January. And then after that, quote unquote, 4 years to see what the hell is going to happen in our country. And whether or not this person can deliver on what he says he can deliver on. Now keep in mind, all the things that are about to happen, if they're good, especially things that are coming up in the next year or so, that was all this administration that just left. All right? Remember that. Remember when you say, oh man, things are good, looking good next. Remember that, okay? That ain't Trump doing shit. That's him, again, inheriting an economy that was on its way back to recovery after it was wrecked by a fucking Republican, Okay? Keep that in mind. Now, Republicans always talk about, oh, Republicans are good for business and good for the economy, but you know what they're bad for? Human beings. Yeah, I said it. Republicans are bad for human beings. And I'll tell you why. Because they don't care about them. They lie and say they do, but it's all a facade to hide their fucking lust for power and money. That's all it is. That's all they want is power and money. The influence to say, I don't want you to dress in a dress, or I don't think that you should have gender affirming care, or I don't think you should have down payment assistance, or I don't think you should be forgiven of your student loans because I don't think so. Period. So, if you want to take this as me calling out Republicans, fine. So be it. I don't care. Democrats ain't, I got a bone to pick with them too. Serious, solid bone, but I got more bones to pick with today's Republican than I ever did with a Democrat. And I will tell you that right off the bat. Now, Democrats have done some shady, fucked up shit to black people. And yes, they do owe some shit to black people. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's up to us black people who vote democratically to hold our party accountable for the things that they don't do for us. Why? Because we voted for them. Okay? Now, how do we hold people accountable? We fucking show the fuck up. We go to vote. We don't fucking give up. We don't let Dr. Umar tell us, we don't have to vote if you don't want to. We don't. That is how you fucking do it. You participate. The reason why, and I'm gonna tell you what, it's very simple. It's very simple, and I learned it here in this county over this election cycle. In the county I live in, there are 60,000 registered Republicans. 60,000 registered Republicans. You know how many registered Democrats? 10,000. You know why? Because we don't give a fuck. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's not because we don't have the numbers. Of course we do. We just showed that we can show up for fucking Donald Trump like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Of course we have the numbers. It's just that we get easily coerced. That's our problem. We fall for the shit they tell us every time. We fell for the motherfuckers that told us, yeah, come over here to the New World and, there's a bread of land over here. You know what I'm saying? We fell for all kind of shit. We fell and we continue to fall for all kind of shit. Yeah, come on, I'll make you rich. All you got to do is, rap about fucking killing your own people. We fall for all kinds of shit. We fall for all kinds of shit. Come over here and run these touchdowns. Oh, but we're only going to get you if you have a white wife. We fall for all kinds of shit. We fall for all kind of shit. And then, once we realize, the fucked up part is once we realize that we fell for this shit and we look behind us and say, damn, we turn around and face the other way and we don't look back. Because fuck it now. I got what I need. You niggas get y'all's. We the only people that do that. We the only people that do that. We the only people that fucking do that. Latins come to this country, I don't care where they come from, Mexico, they could come from Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. They come here in a few months, these motherfuckers got a store. Everybody working in that bitch, Poppy in that bitch, Mommy in that bitch, little Nina's in that bitch, everybody in that bitch working. What we doing standing on the corner trying to rap, you know what I'm saying? Not that, it's a horrible thing, because, I used to want to be that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we got to see past that shit. We got to learn to see past that shit. I have a son, and our youngest son, he is 16, and he's a peculiar kid. He does math problems for fun. He creates and solves math problems for fun. Really weird kid. Anyway, he's very interested in law enforcement. He's very interested in the criminal justice system. He's very interested in the CIA, how the government works, et cetera, et cetera. That is our future. That is what I'm talking about. We have a 16-year-old child that is worried about the future of the country and its moral compass at some point. At 16, extremely intelligent kid, by the way. We have a daughter also that is, she's Malcolm X reincarnated, with a little Boricua flair with it, and she's no nonsense. She don't take no shit. You know what I'm saying? We got some kids that's pretty serious about it. You know what I mean? That understand the process. But now, I'm afraid for them. I'm afraid they'll never get the chance to be who they can be fully because of who they are now. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for listening to my podcast, if you are still listening. And again, black fellas, you know what I mean, out there that if you voted for this dude, again, once again, let me reiterate to y'all. Y'all just better hope that this man, does what you says he's gonna do, and he, and helps you and the rest of the people of this country. Because the minute he starts repealing your freedoms, the minute he starts repealing anything, it becomes your fault. It becomes your fault. Mass deportations and separations of family, Latin guys that voted, it becomes your fault as well. All the shit that he plans to do. Down with the Department of Justice, no checks and balances, you voted for that. When a black man gets beaten to death by the cops, or shot for no reason, or brutalized for no reason, and the cop gets off, remember, you voted for that. That was your doing. That was you. That was you in your proud moment. All right? I'm Darren Harris, and this has been the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. And I'm sorry that I have to continue to do this podcast. And I have to do this podcast because if Black Lives mattered, then I wouldn't have to do this podcast. Y'all have a good one. Good luck out there. Peace.